you best of all. When I first discovered the document, after snort laughing for 10 minutes, I wondered what my parents, who do not read English, would have thought had they been given a translated copy. Would they have been worried, like I was, at the oddly threatening tone in "he is your captor, your jailer, your boss"? Would they have been confused, asking themselves whether the freckled-faced child the anonymous author describes was supposed to be me? Worse, would they have agreed that this, in fact, is what a boy is? After all, so many of the boys and the adult males in my life might have seen themselves reflected in these lines. The words could easily refer to any of my deals, or my older brother, or my father, whom my mother left while I was still in elementary school. I don't think it's a mistake that no author is attributed, because the passage belongs to all of us. Despite my initial instinct to laugh the document off, I see myself in it too. A boy is not something you're born as, but rather an identity you inherit. This piece of paper, if nothing else, is proof of that. Spanish speakers call that inheritance machismo, defined as a strong or aggressive masculine pride, though male chauvinism is hardly a Latin American invention. Beyond the cliché that men must marry, spawn children, and head their households, machismo extends to having a fiercely unapologetic outlook. Perhaps this is in response to European colonization, a refusal to bow down as a reclamation of power, or maybe it's the result of the Catholic Church's long history of idolizing men. Either way, no apologies are given in real life, nor in this document, for the boy who is a nerve-wracking nuisance, a noisy bundle of mischief. It's not asked why little girls hate them, or for what reason someone would lock them out of their study. As for the rooms that I locked myself in as a child, and those I was locked into, no apologies were ever given or expected. Apologies lead to emotions, and emotions are for delicate women, for the weak and the conquered. Overall, it's a pretty sweet deal. Dudes can drink, fuck, and fight all we want and be magical creatures protected by heaven. In return, it is only asked that our drink of choice be beer, that it's bodies that were born with vaginas we fuck, and that who we fight is anyone who wants to do otherwise. What kind of man would complain? I've always found the definition of machismo to be ironic, considering that pride is a word almost unanimously associated with queer people, the enemy of machistas. In particular, effeminate queer men represent a simultaneous rejection and embrace of masculinity. We love men, yet despise much of what being a so-called man entails. Even then, the lines separating us are not rigid. We can be just as sexist and arrogant as our heterosexual brothers. And of course, effeminate queer men can uphold machismo by prizing masculinity in our lovers, calling it a preference without interrogating why it is that we like who we like, or doing anything to change that. While writing High Risk Homosexual, I was time and again reminded of this catch-22. In a world desperate to erase us, queer Latinx men must find ways to hold on to pride for survival. But excessive male pride is often what we are battling, both in ourselves and in others. We threaten what we crave. This was true at Mike Dio's cockfighting ring in Nicaragua, where the book opens, and in the gay bars, bathhouses, and bedrooms seen throughout its pages. Like greed, fear, love, or any other aspect of humanity, machismo was never outright taught to me. I learned it, as did the older generations of men in my family, by living in communities where male expressions of affection were rare, where displays of sexual virility were praised, where women were expected to be silent and sacrifice their time, energy, pleasure, and sanity. If it weren't for my queerness, which made many of the benefits awarded to men who uphold machismo unappealing, I would have likely accepted them without question. The only way out, as the other cliche goes, is through, and the majority of us are left to do this blindly. I'm not under any delusion that my story presents a better instruction manual for boyhood than the one given to my parents. On some warped level, I'm grateful an instruction manual was given to them at all, even if it ultimately amounts to "boys are from hell, enjoy." As I came of age, I longed for a guide to teach me how to navigate being a queer Latinx man. Lacking one, I pieced together my own rules based on the scarce examples I found around me of people attempting to find a new path.